Hello and welcome to Andy's Cornish Creations. In this video we're going to be carving a little gonk out of this piece of 1 by 1 by 2.5 inches, and it's split diagonally down the length to create a triangle, which makes it much easier to carve. You can see what the finished piece is going to look like when it's drawn out, and here I'm just showing you the dimensions in centimeters because it just works out better in centimeters in this case. And it's from the top, it's down 3 centimeters, and then 4 centimeters, and then it's about 5 centimeters and 4 millimeters, something like that. It doesn't really matter, about 1/4 of an inch from the bottom, or about 8 mil, something like that. Not critical. The bottom's just where the feet are, so you can finish it with some larger feet or smaller feet. Doesn't really matter. Here I'm just marking an 1/8 or about 3 mil from the edge, just to take out that sharpness. And from that mark that I've made, I'm coming about 15 millimeters across, and that's where the foot's going to be. That's a little space where the foot is going to be. Again, none of these measurements are all that critical, and you really only need to mark it down at the bottom where the foot is. And just use my finger just to gauge the same mark on the other side. All that's left is to mark where the nose is going to go, and I'm just coming 1 centimeter, 10 mil, from that center out, and that's where the nose is going to go. Just to give you an idea, just roughly mark on the hat and the nose and the feet. All very simple. And all the rest of it is beard. So you don't have to worry about any hands, arms, or anything like that. It's just a hat, nose, beard, and feet. These are the tools I'm using. So that was a 6 mil gouge. This is a 2 millimeter round gouge, and my knife that's 1.5 inches, around about 40 mil. I do like to wear this leather cover on my thumb, because my thumb tends to hurt after I've been pushing the knife a bit, and I'll put the glove on. This is a new pair of gloves. I'm not very impressed with them. They're very tight, and my hand starts to ache after a while using them. So you can see I take the right hand one off in a short while, and then I eventually swap the left hand for my old pair of gloves. Here I'm just taking the sharp edge off where I marked that, put that little line down. Yeah, I've given up on the glove already. You do have to be comfortable when when you're carving, otherwise it becomes a bit of a chore. But I would recommend keeping the glove on the left hand for sure, and any novices, both gloves for sure as well. Keep them both on. Right, just taking that sharp front edge off as well. And then I'm just cutting in where the hat is. On some of my other gnomes, I've done the hat angled down to the sides, which looks quite good. This one, I'm keeping it really simple and just doing a straight across brim on the hat. And here I'm just doing a stop cut, so it's straight in underneath where the hat is, and then coming up to it from underneath, and just cutting across there with the stop cut. I do find these little figures a little bit fiddly to hold on to. As you see later, sometimes I leave the piece of wood longer, and just to give myself something to hold on to. Putting a central line down, just so that when I start cutting the wood back, I get an idea of where the centre is, so I can keep it nice and even from both sides. And just doing a swooping cut from the brim of the hat up to the point at the top, and same from the front as well. Just swooping it, just turning the knife slightly as I'm going up. Just a little bit off the front edge of the hat there, because it doesn't come to a point at the front, so I'm just taking that front point off and getting rid of any wood that's still got the saw cuts on as well, and just slightly rounding it at the front. Just slowly going round, trying to keep the facets relatively even, although it's not critical. And at this point you could do whatever kind of hat you wanted. You could put a little brim round it, or you could do it with a little turnover at the top, a little notch in the side so that it turns over at the top. But I'm just keeping this one really simple and just going up to a point, but not a sharp point. Just take a little bit more of that front off, just to the front of where the shoes are going to be, or the boots. And come in with a V cut here at along the top of the boot, and that can come all the way across the front and also the other side. And there, that cut there, I'm just rounding it over from the bottom, rounding it in to create the boot. And the same at the other side. And here I'm just parting the 2 feet down at the front, and the beard will come down and meet up with the feet. Try and keep the cuts tidy as you're going along. A bit messy down at the bottom there, but try and keep it all tidy. It saves going back. I lost a bit of footage carving the nose out, so I've gone back and you can see this one. The feet haven't been done, so I went back and carved another one just to show you how to carve the nose. And it's just a V-cut at the bottom and coming up from the sides at an angle. And then I haven't got the lines here, but where I drew the lines down, I just come straight in with the knife, reasonably deep, put a little stop cut up at the top, and then cut out down the side of the nose there to leave the nose protruding. And then the same on the other side. Straight in, and then a stop cut at the top, and then come up with the tip of the knife and take out the side there, leaving the nose sticking out. The nose is still a bit square, so just rounding it off at the front there, and just generally giving it a bit of shape and trying to round it there at the sides. And the other side. And here I'm going to do dig my knife in, and I'm going to do a little triangular cut. So in, nice and deep, at an angle, down the side and across the hat. So down the side of the nose. Stick it in there, underneath the rim of the hat. Trying to get it in there, and then pop it out. That's it. It just gives you a bit of depth and shadow, which is what you want. It's shallow carvings aren't very good. You want a bit of depth to them. Create shadow. And they're just rounding off the bottom of the nose and down the sides that are still a bit angled. They're just trying to round it all off. Just tidying up around the sides, and then when I've done that little bit, I'll be returning to the original video, because I didn't want to leave you not knowing exactly how to finish off the nose. So any second now, be back to the original video. I missed a bit of footage here of just cutting the nose in there, but it's two simple cuts down from the hat to create a square, and then cutting back away from there. And now I'm just rounding off the nose. This is a new camera and I'm getting used to it a bit, and a few teething problems, but I'll get there eventually. But at least it's staying in focus, which is the trouble I've been having in the past with these close-up videos. Now I'm just rounding the where the beard's going to be, so taking all those flats off and rounding it up to the underside of the hat. So we don't want any sharp angles or anything, just rounding it up, taking any of the sawn finish on the wood. And try and keep it tidy underneath that hat. And then from the middle, take off those saw cuts and then go down and round it down towards the feet. Again, keeping it nice and tidy where it meets the feet. If you don't do it now, you'll have to do it later, so might as well do it as you're going along. A bit awkward to hold again, as I said before. So now I'm using a bit of a pull cut to get down to those feet. It doesn't have to be perfect because we're going to be using the gouge in a minute, and putting some hair on the beard. Oh, just heard Ivy in the background having a bit of a bark. Just trying to get that awkward little spot there between the feet. And then just having a little fiddle there with the hat. So that's where we're at now. It's more or less done, and if you were leaving it as a flat planed carving, that could be it. It would be finished. And you know, once they're painted up, they can look quite nice, just left like that. But I do like them to have a sort of a more pronounced beard. So we first of all go in with this 6mm gouge, and just put in some marks, just trying to keep it not straight up, but just sort of rounding it over to give it a bit of make it feel like it's flowing a little bit. But I will be going over it again with the 2mm gouge, just to give it a bit of depth and a bit more character. And don't be afraid to put it down on the tabletop or whatever. If you find it easier to do that way, you don't have to hold it in your hand, because sometimes especially when you're using the gouge, it can feel like you're going to stick it in your hand if it slips. So don't be afraid to put it down and do it on the bench. Here I'm using the 2mm gouge, and just giving it a little bit more interest and depth. Trying not to just do parallel lines, And just keep them moving about a bit. You do tend to find that you get these little bits sticking out at the bottom, which are a bit difficult to get rid of. You will see me later on try and come in with the knife and cut those little bits off. There's a reminder to like, subscribe, and ring the notification bell, so that next time I do a video, you'll be able to see it. I haven't done a video for quite a while now because after my workshop burnt down, I haven't got a workshop anymore, so there's no wood turning because I've got nowhere to put a lathe or anything. But we're slowly getting there, and I will be putting out a video with a progress video sometime, hopefully next week, just showing what I've done up to now. Although I don't have a lot of time, but I have made a bit of progress. So just with the knife, just cutting off those little ends that can't quite come out when you get to the bottom. Making a bit of a ham-fisted job of it there, but you get the general idea. And there we have it. It's a very simple little carving. This one's got the straight rim on the hat, and this one's turned down. I prefer this one that's in my hand at the moment. It's got a bit more interest to him. But it is a little bit more difficult to put that extra shape on, but not impossible. This is where I've done one on a longer piece, which does make it easier to handle, but it makes it a bit more awkward down at the bottom where the feet are. And here's one where I've done one on each end, and that's quite good for holding as well. But they're all good fun to do. So anyway, hope you enjoyed it. Hope you find it useful. Thanks for watching. My name is Andy Paramore. This is Andy's Cornish Creations, and hopefully it'll not be too long till the next one. Bye bye.